So he's Mike, I'm Tony, and this is Quick and Dirty, and we're here to talk about Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. Is it worth the click? Um, and
That
you
depends
saw.
on who you ask. Are you asking me?
I'm asking you, is it worth the click? What are your thoughts on this?
So here's my thoughts. Okay, it's a solid cast. I like the cast a lot. I like Theo Rossi as a security guard. He always plays a good scumbag character. Um, I like the dynamic between the Vanderho and Dieter character.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, the black guy is supposed to carry
Yeah,
the.
Dieter was actually one of my favorite characters in the whole thing. Almost every time he opened his mouth, I laughed.
Who I didn't like was the helicopter pilot. It was like all snark, but like no charm. I did like some of the interesting takes they had on the zombies. I like how the fact when they're out there, they dried out in the sun. They
Yeah,
were kind of immobile. I thought that was kind of cool. What I didn't like, though, what didn't make sense to me was like the whole hibernation thing. Oh, well, they're in hibernation. Why?
because they're in the dark and it's cool.
Well, sure.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, I mean, this movie had a lot of interesting takes on zombie lore. It had all the aspects of the hordes. It had all the aspects of them basically just needing to feed and shamble and whatever.
Yeah.
But then it also had the zombie tiger, which I really thought that was kind of cool. That
I
was
like
actually
Zombie
one of
Tiger
Siegfried
too.
and Roy's. It was one of Siegfried and Roy's former performing animals, and it was now a zombie. I like that.
I like that it's also a character though. It had a name, Valentine.
Yes, yes.
So yeah.
At the very beginning, like the two army guys are talking about, what do you think we got in the back here? Well,
Yeah.
it could be the original Constitution written in blood, or it could be this, or it could be the Holy Grail. Yeah, it could
Yeah.
be the Holy Grail. No, I mean it could be like we just came from Area 51. It could be aliens. Well, it turns out that's exactly what it was. The main alpha, the zombie king, he was an actual alien. It's there's like a whole lore that it's an alien induced zombie outbreak and that there is a hive mind, and you have the drones, which are all the regular slow shamblers, but then there is the alphas, which are fast moving and they're smart and they're intelligent and they communicate. And then he has his queen, and then his queen is actually impregnated. And so like all that was like chock full, just packed in there. This is one of those movies that if you're a Zack Snyder fan, you're gonna love this movie. This has got all of Zack Snyder's trademarks, but it's also dialed back a little bit. And he was also the director of photography on this one. So you're really getting Zack Snyder's vision. He really did direct this, and he set the camera up and figured out the lighting schemes and how he wanted everything to look.
No, it was shot very well. I liked the way everything looked. The camp looked like a fucking haphazardly thrown together, camp.
Yeah.
Vegas looked like a legit war zone. Um, I know a lot of people don't like his music choices sometimes in his movies, his
Yeah.
selections. I love Suspicious Minds at the very beginning of it. Was very appropriate.
Yeah.
I liked how he used different cover versions of songs. So I
Yeah.
like, so that's a very interesting take on some of the stuff. The only thing that I didn't like music section wise was like supposed to be like a ha ha fucking moment. And it's when they had Culture Club in the elevator.
Oh, well. I laughed when it came on, when the elevator door closed and Do You Really Want to Hurt Me came on, and I giggled, but it would have been funnier with something like Karma Chameleon, if you wanted to stick with Culture Club
Right.
and
Yeah.
like do something that's just totally completely wrong. This is a character story. This is a movie about all of these characters that are comprised of this team that are told, go in and there's all this money in a vault and the government has already insured it and paid me back for it. But if we go in and get it, well, I've doubled my money essentially, and
Well,
you guys get $50 million.
he's trying to cram characters into a heist zombie movie, and it's one of the things that I don't like about it is he's trying to cram too much shit in. And even though it's 2.5 hours, while he may be great at doing an opening sequence and putting in a bunch of information, for some reason during the main body of the film, he doesn't know how to utilize his time properly. There's too much shit going on. He could have addressed everything that was in there in that 2.5 hours, but somehow he still doesn't.
I'm gonna say that I think Zack Schneider's main issue, um, is that he wants to do a backstory for everybody in the cast, and then he has these giant casts. And it's the same with Justice League too. I
Yep.
love the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, but I'm the first to tell you that, you know what? I realize that the Justice League is 7 members. I get that. Trust me, I get that. But um, without the movies to set all those up, he wants to fill in all these backstories for all these characters, and it kills his clock. It really does. And this is true in this case. If this had been 5 characters that were going in, and then the like one head of Tanaka's security force, that would have been plenty. The action sequences are extraordinarily well done, and every one of them was a real big exclamation point to a scene. When an action scene starts and ends, shit got real, and I really like that about this movie. The one girl that was with the Instagram guy, when he tries to get her to go off in the other direction and get killed, and she figures it out, fighting her way through the whole thing, and then bust through the window. That whole sequence was great.
Yeah.
The only thing that I questioned in that sequence was she breaks out. She's got a bunch of zombies hanging off of her, and I'm like going, well, why aren't your buddies trying to shoot the zombies off of you? And then I realized, well, because they know that you've already been bit, so you're fucked, and they know it. So other than getting away from you, what else can they do? So I get it, but there was that initial knee-jerk reaction from me of, she's your friend, you should try getting them off of her. But that didn't happen that way. But I appreciated what they did with it.
Yeah, but you say that, but she actually didn't get bit till she was actually outside in that area. And here's this kind of ties into some of the things that are just like stupid, just absolutely retarded in this movie. Everybody's a fucking expert marksman in this movie until plot requires them to miss. I mean, literally, no, seriously. Dave Bautista fucking just sprays fucking bullets. Every bullet hits a fucking zombie in the fucking head. Okay? Even the daughter, towards the end when she's fighting the main zombie, 2, right in the fucking forehead, from way the fuck away with the fucking handgun, all right? No, yeah. That's fucking bullshit. But yes, some of the times when it needs to be a critical shot, sometimes they fucking miss. So that shit bothered the fuck out of me. I didn't like that. Other things I didn't like was at the beginning, during the opening sequence, you have Vanderho with that chop saw, cut motherfuckers up. He carries a chop saw. He never uses it once in the movie. In the actual movie, outside the credits, he never uses it.
Yeah.
Well, then why even show him with the fucking thing in the beginning?
I think that was just his weapon of choice, and he just wasn't given the opportunity because the hordes were different. So
that's fucking bullshit. That's fucking lazy fucking writing, and you know that. And then towards the end there, where Vanderhook gets bit, but yet Dieter throws him the fucking safe. Why? He's already bit. You saw him get bit. You know he's fucking dead. And yet later, somehow he gets out of the fucking safe. How'd you get the fuck out of the safe?
The bomb.
Huh?
The bomb. When they nuked it, the vault collapsed, giving him a spot to be able to climb out of.
Really?
What?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Here's what I think is the biggest sin of this movie. Is that these are supposed to be smart zombies. They can hunt, they can communicate, they can do, this present as they can do all this shit.
Yeah.
But never do they ever really do it. They don't really do a good coordinated fucking attack. Yeah, you see them communicate, but they're just kind of like just normal people. I really wanted to see them be more smart and more terrifying. I wanted to see them do a coordinated attack. If you're going to present these as a different breed of zombie, these ain't your normal zombie, lean into that a little bit more, because there could have been some really great things that could have happened. You could have had them set up diversions, and then trick people into fucking into a trap, and have people die.
I'm not going to disagree with you. I actually think that it would have been nice to get a little bit more of the alpha zombies.
Yeah.
Basically trying to figure out ways to break the group up. and try to figure out what their plan was so that they could counter it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say you're wrong on that one. It would have been a more compelling watch at that point. I will say that the whole vault cracking scene was hilarious.
Yeah.
I loved everything about. I loved it when he went and he, got the first zombie, and, and they had to shoot that one. So then he like goes and gets in the elevator and comes back with another zombie, and
Yeah.
he microwaves the hand. I was laughing like an idiot for that whole thing. And then when he's triggering the traps, that just got funnier as it went.
Yeah.
He was probably my favorite character in the whole movie, the safecracker. He was
Yeah.
funny, and for all of his natural ability at handling a gun, every time a zombie came near him, he would scream like a girl while he was shooting, and that had me rolling every time. So there was one sequence, and I got to be honest, it started, and me and Tony started cracking jokes about it. And it's the scene where the Alpha shows up and he puts that mask on, and I immediately cracked, "Oh, I'm Captain America!" and yeah, Tony's like, "What's the mask at? That's kind of stupid." And then when they shot at his head and
Yeah.
the bullets bounced off, and Tony was like, "Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. I get it. I maybe would have made it look a little bit different, but yeah, that's kind of like that's smart. That's clever." I think the coyote dying was really great. That whole sequence where she gets basically stapled to the wall with a piece of rebar. I love that whole
Yeah,
bit.
that's good.
Something I could have done without was them coming out onto the roof and the chopper pilot having been gone, but then coming back. It's like I
Yeah.
saw that in
Seen it.
Aliens in
Yeah.
'86.
Yeah.
I didn't need it here. The ending. Spoiler alert. The ending. Everybody dies at the end except for Dave Bautista's daughter. And
Zephyr Vander, who we talked about,
um,
who sets up the
well,
sequel because
no,
he
no,
gets out of the fucking safe, he gets on the fucking plane,
yeah.
and he turns on the fucking plane, so there's a fucking sequel.
Well, yeah, but they already announced that there was a sequel, so I'm okay with that. I knew that going in. It was just a matter of, okay, how are they going to tie all this together? How are they going to make this into a sequel? So I can forgive all of that.
I
I
can't.
knew I
I
knew
can't.
somebody was getting out of there that was going to continue to spread the infection. Um, but any other details you want
No, we covered every fucking bullet point that I want to cover.
to?
Um, it's a mild recommend for me. I've seen better. I've seen worse. I like Dawn of the Dead better than this. If you want to talk
Yeah,
about Zack Snyder and zombies, so apples to apples. Um, if you want to watch a great zombie film that's put out recently, watch Train to Busan, like we did last night at Garagenberg.
yeah.
Fantastic movie. This is smart. All the characters are smart. There's zero contrivances in that movie.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. Train to Busan is a great zombie movie. And it has that same, a huge cast, a lot of characters, but it doesn't feel the need to explain all these characters. You have your main character, and everybody else is introduced along the way, and it's done in a interesting and convincing way. Apples to apples, I think Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead is a better movie than this as well. But I've also had 15 years to love that movie. I will rewatch this. I did enjoy this, and I am an unashamed Zack Snyder fan. I get what he's going for. He's not trying to make Citizen Kane. He is trying to make fun, entertaining, engaging, and relatable action movies, and he does that. I also appreciate good character work, and he definitely, when he's on his A game, he gets all his characters. But this one, the cast is just a little too big. I think it could have been pared down just a little bit, and it shaved 10 minutes off the runtime, not introducing those characters, and it would have been a better movie for it. For me, this is on a 1 to 10 scale. This is a 7.5. It's a recommend. It's not a super strong recommend. It's not a must see. But if you're a fan of the genre and you're sick of The Walking Dead, this is your jam. It's a fun entertaining and engaging watch, and I will watch it again. And it's for me, it's worth a click.
I don't know. Well, I have no clue what we're doing next. I don't know what's coming out next.
Uh,
So
there's Angelina Jolie's action movie that's on HBO Max, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I wanted to check that one out. That dropped on streaming like last Friday, I think. So I think we
yeah,
need to give that one a go.
all right.
And I can't even remember the name of it. It's like something like they want me dead, or they thought I was dead, or some shit like that. So yeah, we can't even remember the title of it, but we're gonna watch it so you don't have to.
All right. And on that note, we'll see you guys the next time.